Okay, continue on. What I find disturbing are these data centers that are going up. I found 2 good videos. One is totally disgusting. The freak Elon Musk is polluting Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know why the Southerners are letting this alien starship freak into their state in the first place. Okay? But not only letting him in, it's letting him, loot it. Loot. That's what the Republicans always do, like Bush and Trump. They just loot the place and polluting it. He's poisoning Memphis. Like this video right here. Yeah, okay, he had that one too, but
sometimes the most shocking corporate misconduct is hidden in plain sight.
Watch this.
Invisible to the naked eye.
I didn't even know this.
What is happening here will swallow our world if we don't stop it right here, right now.
Looking back, there was an
This is part of your AI too, folks.
early clue that the world's richest man was up to something here.
It's just like, why is Elon Musk coming to Memphis?
Don't let him there. Don't let him in. Arrest him.
People of Memphis soon found out.
Now Elon Musk is coming to Memphis to build the world's largest supercomputer.
We don't need this yank from outer space in our state. Down in the South. Get the heck out.
A year later,
Yeah.
people here want
At
answers.
least they'll go protest.
We went to
Watch this.
Memphis and found an environmental crime scene.
Yeah.
Musk's data center burning enough methane to power a small city with no permits and no pollution controls.
I have not seen anything.
Yeah, that's why they gutted the EPA. Of course, the Republicans always do that, starting with Bush Hog. He always opened up loggers into our national parks. You know, because their money's their bottom line.
Thing like this. We believe they've already violated the Clean Air Act.
As Musk helps dismantle the very federal agency that's supposed to protect us against pollution like this.
There is no way to miss
Look at that
how this
freak.
is a coordinated strategy.
What does Memphis reveal about the future Elon Musk wants for us all?
So the mission of XAI
Stand that guy.
is to understand
God, he
the unity of
repugnant.
us.
In 2023, Musk founded XAI to produce and sell artificial intelligence.
We want to understand the nature of the universe so we can figure out where are the aliens, what's the meaning of life.
There are no aliens, you freak. Okay? There aren't any aliens. Why don't you wake up? You know what? There's no space you can go to. There's the earth and the firmament. It's written in the Bible. Do I need to read it for you, freak face? Okay? The only way out of here, you freaking freak, is to die. The only way out of here is to die. That's the only way we get out of here. Okay? And then from there, you go. It's a straight shot to either hell, or with the Creator. And He's going to destroy you down to your soul.
How does the universe end?
Its main product is Grok, an AI chatbot that he's incorporated into Twitter, or X. Musk was entering the race to dominate the AI market, but he was arriving late, years after competitors
He's a
like
devil.
OpenAI and Google had begun training their AI systems.
He's
So in
dangerous.
Musk's mind, he had to move
This guy's dangerous.
fast.
We went to the data center providers and said how long would it take to have 100,000 GPUs operating coherently in a single location. And we got
I can't stand listening to him. God, I can't stand this guy.
time frames from 18 to 24 months.
Oh, let's get past
So
this
like, well,
part.
18 to 24
It
months,
makes me want
that
to
means
throw up.
losing as a certainty. So the only option was to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Been waiting for this moment. I am pleased to announce that XAI's Gigafactory of
Gigafactory.
Compute, the world's largest supercomputer,
That's like Y-Gig. They're going to be using, it's a high gigahertz. Not good. Not good for you to be around.
is to be located in Memphis, Tennessee.
I can't believe Memphis let him in there.
Musk dubbed the project Colossus, after a movie about a supercomputer that becomes sentient and assumes...
He lives in a fairy tale world of space movies. You know, he's got like the IQ of a 10-year-old, you know. I don't think he's smart at all. He lives in this fantasy world of, you know, just because he likes goddamn space doesn't mean the rest of us do, okay? Just like, I don't want to go to the frickin' moon, okay? In fact, why don't you go to the moon? In fact, why don't you get, preferably, a one-way ticket to the moon and don't come back here? Musk.
Total control of the world.
And so, my fellow human beings, we all
Oh, you ain't gonna be controlling me.
directly and indirectly live in the shade, but not the shadow of Colossus.
When you think about the computational power that it will take to put humans on the surface of Mars, that's going to come from the gigafactory of compute that costs.
Well, they can't go to Mars, so, and this is gonna be another video, but they can't go there, so what are they really up to? I send you some gulag in El Salvador. That's what they'll do. That's what, instead, you know, the poor Jews, you know, we're going to put you on a train. We're going to relocate you to another city. Oh, here's Musk. Oh, his so smart plan. We're going to put you on this rocket to go to the moon and check it out. In reality, you're going to go to this rocket that doesn't go into space because it can't. They're going to send you to the gulag in El Salvador. Aha! That's it. Because they're too stupid to come up with another plan. They're following the same damn playbook that Hitler did. I've been saying that for years. All I got to do is go to the damn History Channel on the episode on Hitler and the Nazis, and I can know what their next moves are.
We were told that by the company. And so it required speed and power.
It's announced as a done deal.
Keyshawn Pearson grew up in South Memphis.
A billionaire and his organization is coming to our city, and we're just finding out after the land has been purchased, after the project has been approved by certain officials, right, who did know.
These officials ought to be fired. They're traitors. They should have stood up to him and said no.
This is huge.
They're more than likely paid off and intimidated. What does the Bible say? Fear no evil, and they're pure evil.
This puts the word out there that Memphis understands operating at the speed of business.
As a community, we're trying to reach out to people and understand what is XAI. He built it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, are they telling us what the hell are they going to be doing here? It's a data center. What is this? Like somebody said, this is his, you know, I'm speculating. You know, this is where, you know, they're going to have chips in everybody, and they're going to be monitoring you with these chips at these data centers.
Without us even knowing that it was being built.
We had to watch this over X or Twitter. Brent Mayo, Elon Musk would tweet often about where they...
Tweet! What professional? I mean, how unprofessional is that tweeting, I just want to say, with a rump in him, his sidekick freak. It's so unprofessional. I mean, back in the world of real presidents like, you know, Reagan, you know, they never tweeted. That's just so, like, Kitty Bebop. You know, like he's some little spoiled rotten brat. They're spoiled rotten brats in high school tweeting.
They were in the progress, how fast things were moving.
To train an AI system, a data center requires an enormous amount of electricity. The question was, where would the power come from?
Most companies, when it comes to the city of Memphis, they plug into our power grid. That's what you think would happen. Why would this be any different?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we learned, because it is a billionaire corporation, it would be a lot
He
different.
can do whatever he wants,
XAI
right?
made a deal with the local electric company
Made a deal.
for 150 megawatts of power and agreed to build a new substation to help meet that demand. But Musk's ambitious plans suggested he would need much more power than that, and fast.
Wonder why. Tell us why, you freak bag.
Soon, people started to notice some unusual structures outside the facility.
I drove out there, and the first thing I did was hear the turbines. You can smell it as well. Such a disturbingly unique smell.
From the road, Keyshawn and others could see a row of machines that are typically only used for remote or emergency operations. Mobile gas turbines.
I have never seen portable turbines used like this.
Patrick Anderson works on air quality cases for the Southern Environmental Law Center.
We know that these kinds of generators require air permits. And so right off the bat, we started filing records requests with the local Shelby County Health Department. Do you have an air permit application from XAI? And they came back and basically said, no, we have nothing to hand over. We also filed records requests with EPA to see what they had. They also did not have details on what is on the ground out there. Nobody from the regulatory side, the health department, the city, EPA, has told the public or us really one iota of what's actually operating out there.
To figure that out, Patrick and his team hired a photographer to capture the data center from above. The images revealed far more turbines than anyone knew about. 35.
I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely stunned. How do we not know about this?
According to XAI leadership, the turbines are not being used and are not connected.
Under pressure,
Yeah, right.
XAI claimed it was using less than half of those turbines.
I've talked to the XAI leadership team. There are 35, but there are only 15 that are on. The other ones are stored on the site.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
first off, these are expensive. There's a turbine shortage nationally. You don't obtain these turbines and put them on site if you're not intending to operate them.
So Patrick and his team sent the photographer back out with a high-end thermal camera.
What we saw is 33 of the 35 were very clearly operating.
The turbines were capable of generating about 420 megawatts of electricity, enough to power around 300,000 homes.
They built a power plant out there. And they've done it overnight, no air pollution controls, quick and dirty, no permit.
I mean, what you've done with the cluster in Memphis is incredible. Just in a handful of weeks.
Any given thing can be sped up. Like whatever the speed is being done, it can be done faster.
This is the largest AI cluster in the world. This place is absolutely amazing.
That is like superhuman. I mean, Elon is singular. Building a massive factory in the short time that was done, there's only one person in the world who could do that.
And this entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
We were given a tour at XAI, looking at the facility.
Grok. I don't know. I just want to look that word up. It's probably some satanic meaning. Ugh. Let's see. It's ugly name. Ugly just like he is. Yes. Grok is a free AI assistant designed by AI to maximize truth and objectivity. Grok offers real-time search, image generation, and trend analysis. Yeah, real time. Real time. They can watch you real time.
Is hidden in plain sight, invisible to the naked eye.
What is happening here
Oh
will
crap,
solve
I'm sorry.
our world if we don't stop
I
it
was,
right here, right now.
Looking back, there was an early...
I hit the wrong link there. Oh, I had two. Okay.
Very impressive, very exciting for Memphis. Their commitment to the community is remarkable.
It's unique in my experience.
Joseph Goffman has worked on air pollution issues for decades. Until January, he ran the...
I mean, I normally don't play the whole video, but this thing is just... It's unbelievable. This just tells you who this freak is.
EPA office that regulates air quality.
Most companies that I've dealt with go to great lengths and spend a lot of money to make sure that the day they turn on their operations, they're also turning on their pollution control equipment. That's a given. For a company to do this, it's treating the people who live there as if they don't count.
I like to open my windows early in the morning to breathe the fresh air. God's given air. Not the air that man wants to give us, but God.
Easter Knox lives just over a mile from XAI.
I really wasn't getting the fresh air. I was getting that pollution that was mixed in with everything.
Nothing.
You know how you light your stove and that gas seeps with the little ticking noise? That's what it smelled like.
Alexis Humphreys grew up here, 1 street away from Easter.
When I smelled it the first time, I was asleep. And it woke me up because I thought gas was sleeping in the house. But couldn't find
But that's
out.
okay. It's not little pussy Elon breathing in or living there. They gotta make him sit next to one of those turbines for 3 months without moving, breathing it all in.
We come outside, and all the neighbors was outside trying to figure out what's going on.
He was an ordinary dad, full of joy, full of jokes.
Last year, Alexis lost her grandfather, who struggled with a respiratory illness called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD.
COPD is a breathing condition, but you don't get it unless you smoke cigarettes. And my granddad didn't smoke cigarettes, but every 3 weeks or so, my granddad was going to the hospital. You have to get breathing treatments. I have asthma, bronchitis. My mom have just bronchitis, and now my granny has it.
You can't hardly breathe. It's just like your whole world is collapsing down on you. And it's frightening.
Easter and her husband have also developed COPD. What does it feel like?
Feel like you're fixing to die.
Oh, but it's all good. All in the name of spying on us. They just can't get enough of it. We gotta give them something to look at.
The area around XAI leads the state in emergency department visits for asthma. Memphis has one of the highest rates of toxic air releases of any American city, and many of its most polluting facilities are in this neighborhood.
Elon, what he did with Memphis is objectively somewhat dirty, but he's also doing it in an area where there's like a bigger natural gas plant right next door, and like a wastewater treatment and a garbage dump nearby, right? And he's obviously made the world a lot more clean than that one data center.
In just 1 year, XAI has blown past existing polluters.
They're emitting somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 tons of NOx. I'm an air pollution guy, so I deal in those numbers all the time, and that's larger than anything else in Memphis.
Gas turbines like these release 3 main types of deadly pollution: nitrogen oxides, formaldehyde, and fine particulate matter. Nitrogen oxides combine with other pollutants to form ground-level ozone, which causes and worsens asthma and COPD. Formaldehyde causes cancer, and particulate matter, airborne soot, can pass through your lungs and into your bloodstream, causing heart disease.
Oh, well, that's all good, because they're dumping that out of the sky with their chemtrails to own the weather.
We've shown up today because we've been to too many firms. We've shown up today because we've cried too many tears. We've shown up here today because we're tired. And we have an expectation of the people that we elect and put into place. We expect them to do what is in our best interest. Not Elon Musk. And what we're saying is that starts now.
In April, hundreds of people came to a high school in South Memphis to talk about XAI. In January, the company belatedly applied for a permit to operate 15 of its turbines for 5 years.
XAI has publicly addressed the community in any way.
He showed up with his little trendy shirt and then just insulted everybody and walked out. You know why? Look at him looking down.
He immediately left
Coward.
after reading his script.
Read his script. Because Elon Musk ain't man enough to show up there.
It's extremely disrespectful.
He's not a
It's
man.
time to start telling the truth. The truth is that XAI just ran up out of here. They have no controls that permit.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead. I got it.
Air pollution or decrease air pollution in their factories. None. That's the truth.
Walking oh god, it was paper edges.
To date, local and state authorities have taken no action against XAI. Running turbines without permits or pollution controls is also a violation of the Clean Air Act, which it's the EPA's job to enforce. But to date, the EPA has done nothing. And Elon Musk is doing what he can to keep
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to As a Man Picketh on Unas TV.
Musk has helped the Trump administration place strict limits on the EPA's budget as part of President Trump's broader project to radically reshape the agency. Trump...
All right, and now here's another... Okay, that's one data center. Now let's go over here. I'm not going to play this whole thing. Now let's go over here. Officials sworn to secrecy inside Alabama's Project Marvel.
This is an interesting topic that I wanted to cover. Alabama.
I like this guy. He covers a lot of good topics, like farmers. That's another video I got to do. We're just being bombarded with crap, people.
In Bessemer, Alabama, actually,
I used to live near there. Bessemer was real nice, kind of out in the country area, suburb, real nice area. I hate to hear about it. 700-acre data center. What the hell do they need that big of a data center for?
4.5 million square foot data center project. This data center would cover 700 acres, have 18 buildings over 250,000 square feet, a couple of football fields each. That's just a data center.
Unbelievable.
I think that these data centers should be concerning to all of us, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I also just wanted to talk about some AI in general, and bring up some changes that the Trump administration has made to artificial intelligence that I don't necessarily agree with, but I see, their point in doing this. So it's an interesting conversation. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say below about it. But number one, data centers like these are often filled with mystery because these city officials, county officials, they get put into these NDA, non-disclosure agreements, where they can't talk about the project that they're then supposed to pass on to their constituents and get passed. And in Bessemer, nobody likes this project. Nobody wants it to go through. But the county...
Like I said, because it wouldn't pass, because it's about implanting chips in people and monitoring them in real time through their stupid, dumbass AI. And you better nip it in the bud.
Commissioners have already, or the county planning board has already passed it. Now it's just up to the county to finalize it and pass it at the commissioner level. Usually a planning board approves something and then it goes in front of the council and then they approve the whole thing. So that's kind of the stage that I believe that it's at in Alabama. I might be a little behind on this story, but I believe that's the current stage that it's at.
People who live near the massive project site are suing the city, trying to stop it from being built.
So much opposition. A zoning ordinance vote was removed from the city council agenda this morning. Your reporter, Julian Brooks, joining us live and on your side to explain what happened at today's meeting and what the lawsuit says. Julian.
Sarah Morgan, Bessemer Mayor Kenneth Goley tells us that the proposed project will be the greatest, most impactful project in the history of Bessemer. But some neighbors are worried about the impact it will have on their health along with the environment around the property. Now, the lawsuit claims at least 2 creeks would be impacted by the project, which could endanger...
One of he's going to put his ghetto jalopy methane producing buckets outside it.
bald eagles and watercress darterfish in the area. The plaintiffs also say they weren't given adequate notice of proposed zoning. The mayor tells us he is under a non-disclosure agreement and can't discuss the details of the project.
Non-disclosure? Come on, Alabama. Come on. You gonna let this Yankee freak show roll in here and tell you what you can't talk about? What the hell happened to the South?
But that he's not surprised that some community members are opposed to the property.
And people are in disbelief over this thing. 700 acres, 4.5 million square feet. And if you look across country and you look at all these stories about data centers, these things are huge. They're popping up everywhere. A data center can use millions, hundreds of millions of gallons of water a day for their evaporative cooling system. So anybody who lives in areas where there's a lot of drought, where there's water resource problems, they should be concerned. Remember Idaho? There's actually a Facebook data center going into the area where the Idaho curtailment went. And there's been a lot of speculation as to what that could have been, whether it was a power company, whether it had to do with mining, whether it had to do with data centers. I'm sure it had to do with all of the above, right? It had to do with all of the above because even the mining was related to getting rare earth metals that we then need for this type of technology and the growth of artificial intelligence. AI, I think, is going to be the death of society. I mean, think about how many resources these data centers require. And for those of you who think you're progressive, who think you're, moving forward with the greatness of mankind, most of those are also the ones who are running around, quoting science on climate. These data centers are highly pollutive. They emit more CO2 than anything else. Not that CO2 is a pollutant, and I don't have a problem with CO2. I'm just saying, these people are often hypocrites because they don't understand everything that's involved. They don't understand that if you take away all the water resources to pump them into data centers, which think for people instead of having thinkers out there, that they're going to starve themselves. You can't take away all the water. You can't take away all the land. And, the land's another thing. We're in a transition period right now, a transition where we're seeing trillions of dollars, like an estimated, $24 trillion of land being basically transferred, that massive transfer of wealth over the next 20 years, most of that over the next 10 years, because of how many farmers and ranchers across the United States are at retirement age. And then their kids who have been brainwashed since the 1990s didn't want to go back to the farm, don't want the farm life. There was a time in history when being a lord and lady of land was about to be replaced as they scoop up all the farmland to build these massive data centers and these solar farms and everything else you see going on. I think it's a big concern. I think we all need to think about it. Every day, more and more Americans are waking up to the things that we've been told were bad for us, like animal fats. Our actions and creams are technical, ultimate control over what you put in your food and in your body. I mean, it's a pretty scary thing when you put all of this together and you look at where this order and as we've been doing over the last...
So that's, and that's in Alabama. Inalienable rights. Natural rights are those rights such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, freedom of religion, speech, learning, travel, self-defense. Hence, laws and statutes which violate natural rights, though have the color of law, we now have these natural rights from being tampered with by legislatures. Further, our forefathers also wisely knew that the U.S. Constitution would be merely worthless to restrain government legislatures unless it was clearly understood that the people had the right to compel the government to keep within the constitutional limits, which they're not doing with any of this stuff going on. In a jury trial, the real judges are the jurors. Surprisingly, judges are actually just referees bound by the Constitution. How does tyranny begin? Why are there so many laws? Heroes are men of glory who are so honored because of some heroic deed. People, often out of gratitude, yield allegiance to them. Honor and allegiance are nice words for power. Power and allegiance can only be held rightfully by trust as a result of continued character. When people acting in the name of government violate ethics, they break trust with we the people. The natural result is for we the people to pull back power, honor, and allegiance. Unchecked power is a foundation of tyranny, like we see in this video here. It is the juror's duty to use the jury room as a vehicle to stem the tide of oppression and tyranny, to nip it in the bud, I said, to prevent bloodshed by peacefully removing power from those who have abused it. The jury is a primary vehicle for the peaceful restoration of liberty, power, and honor to we the people.